wish I could do these on my phone, but it won't. It keeps. If I try to upload something that's over 3 minutes, the upload just fails. I don't know what's wrong with it. But I just want to talk about like some of the odds and ends games. I know I showed my Pirate Twin earlier, but I just about the variety we used to get on the PS2 and the original Xbox. And I have some other stuff like that. Like we used to get okay, like this Pirate Simulator by Sid Meier. And I know this is not the cover because it didn't come with the cover when they shipped it. So I tried to print one and the printer was messed up, so I need to redo that, but I haven't. And then we got, stuff like, you know, Hugh Hefner autobiography game, I guess technically is what this is if you want to, I guess. I mean, because you like start the Playboy empire and then build it up from there with hiring like staff people, but you can customize the staff people's appearance like in The Sims. I mean, there's not a lot of customization. You can just like customize um their hairstyle and their uh, body shape a little bit. Like you can, but you can't really do much other than chest size and hairstyle. And hairstyle. That's all you can really do with that one. But like this, you just same thing there. Um, I know I had that in my other video. I don't know why I put these back, but yeah, but yeah, just like we used to get a lot more variety. I'm just running through these. I already showed these, but um, and I haven't seen a good boat combat game. This one's not that great. It's got some kind of it's kind of a hard game, but I have it. Um, but then we get stuff like this. This was a launch game for the console. It's called Wacky Races, where you actually do a foot race with these wacky characters. Not wacky, not wacky. Why do I call it Wacky Race? It's like Wacky Race, I guess, but um, it's called Mad Dash Racing. But yeah, it's a foot race. I don't know why. I guess because these wacky looking characters on the cover make me think that because they are wacky looking. Okay, and then we got games like Oddworld. And the only reason I have the sequel to this is the sequel to Oddworld, is because I got into, I watched a documentary on it, and also when I got my PS Mini, you guys have seen, it's got Oddworld 1 in there, so I wanted to, play more of the Oddworld stuff, but the, the emulation on that thing is crap, like they say. And then, we have stuff like this, which is a street racing game where you go around and pick up supermodels by winning races and stuff, and, you know, which is, that Playboy Mansion and more for guys. Which they did make, and I'm going to tell you this, they did for PC make a female version of Playboy Mansion based on the Desperate Housewives series. So they did make a female version of that kind of plot line. And then, you used to have stuff like this, like Burnout, where you just crash all the cars and stuff. But this is the original. Um, and, flight sims like this, I've tried playing this, the same with the boat game. I don't know what it is with me and vehicle games on the original Xbox, but I suck at them without a Game Shark. Um, wrong one. And then we used to get arena battle games. This is kind of like in the vein of Twisted Metal. It's an arena battle game for the Xbox. Um, so based on Twisted Metal and Vigilante 8, but it's real crap. But and then we used to get wrong one. I got these mixed up. Hold on. I had the um. Anyway, there's two of these somewhere. I don't know whether the one is in the stack, but there's games like Fusion Frenzy, which you'd play a bunch of mini games, kind of like Mario Party. We used to get stuff like that. We don't get stuff like that anymore. I don't know where I put the other one, but and there's two games I grabbed in this stack that doesn't belong here. Um, but then there was a time where they made, truck driving games like this, Big Mother Truckers. There was a different one on Sega called 18 Wheels of Steel, which is the one I owned. And man, I wish Sega would have released that on something. Because the only truck driver game they have, and I come from a trucking family, is the European Truck Driver Simulator on Xbox One, and that thing is just the controls are awful. I hate that game. I hate the way it controls. I mean, this is an arcade um, game, but it does simulate running a trucking company technically because you got to buy your freight, sell your freight to make money to uh, further the storyline. I forget what the storylines are in these, but yeah, you actually do that kind of stuff. I don't know what the storyline is. I haven't played it that much. But then you used to get, you know, and when the whole stealth thing was popular, we don't even get stealth games anymore except for the remakes. Like when Splinter Cell Metal Gear was popular, somebody made this. And the reason I bought this is because I heard the characters are smart mouth, and I mean that's why I bought it because I wanted to play it. And then how did I play it? I played a little bit of it, but I got stuck in part of the tutorial and gave up. I don't know what it is with these old games and their tutorials, but I just get frustrated and quit. Um, and then where's the next thing I'm looking for? Oh, yeah, then we get to use. Oh yeah, then this Viva Pinata. Just to get stuff like that, which is more of a strategy style game like Playboy and Sims, but it's where you're like running a zoo or something, you know. And why did I not have these in the right order? And speaking of running a zoo, this was a launch game for the Xbox One, an actual zoo running simulator. And there's another one where you build theme. There's two on. There's one of the original Xbox and one of the 360 where you create a theme park. So there's that, which we don't get like we don't get stuff like that anymore. Um, like here's a strategy game based off the XCOM like formula, but the game doesn't make any sense as far as the story goes. So like the lore is wrong. But then again, coalition games are like 343 games. They don't know what the lore is. They're retarded. They never play the originals or anything. Okay, I'm just gonna say that the coalition in 343, the reason they have dropped the storyline at the end of Gears 5, just like they dropped the one in the Halo Infinite, because they know the community knows they screwed the lore up and the community hates it, so they're like, why continue a storyline everyone hates? Instead, we do remakes because they can't get it right. If they just go back and play the first three games, something they have access to, I'm pretty sure being Microsoft employees, they could probably get the story right when they started these stupid franchises, when they took over these franchises, the retards. And um, another kind of game we don't get anymore is these movie tie-in games. I have these and I have the Star Treks and the G.I. Joes. Um, it's the only Disney games I think I have. Um, but I bought them. I ended up with the games first on download. Then I had to buy the disc because the download wouldn't work. Um, and I and the save files are gone too because for some reason they are. Like I said, I had to transfer those to my Xbox 360E, and the save files were lost. So yeah. Um, Another thing, like I don't know, I just feel like bringing this up. I have Paradise as well. Just gonna run through these real quick. I'm just like running through random crap. And like I said, this is the only other SSX I have. I have this one, and then I have three. That's the only two I have. I think they're the better ones anyway. I think from what I've heard, I don't know much about the franchise. I'm not much of a border. Then I've got Undercover to go with the other Need for Speeds because I heard it was part of the same story. It's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be in the same story of Underground and Most Wanted and Carbon. I think it's related. And then there's this one. I have that too. Which I have two copies of this that I got by accident because I forgot I had just the disc by itself. So then we have Halo Wars, which we only got two games in that series, but strategy game style again. End War. I guess this was supposed to be the end of Tom Clancy's universe. That's why they call it that, because there's bits and pieces of some of the other stuff from his other like franchises in here. I think, and they made this before he passed away, so I think that was supposed to be. And now they don't even call them Tom Clancy games anymore. And then, like I said, you got stuff like Civilization, strategy game. We don't really get strategy games at all anymore. And then I have this gym. I have this, and I cannot figure what. I know you're supposed to just build random crap in this game, but these strategy sim games, I just don't get them. They're just not for me. And then I have these two. I think I put in my last video. I can't remember. And then, oh, here it is. Yeah, we got two fusion frenzies, just two. But this one, all the mini games sucked. Nobody liked it, so this killed the franchise. Okay, and I got Half Life, or Orange Box. And it's kind of funny. I found this on sale. Everybody kept talking about it, and I bought it. And I find Gordon Freeman, and like I said, I mainly bought it because I wanted to play the first Portal because I had the Portal 2 on download. But I mainly bought it for Portal. And there are a few people that still play the Team Fortress, but the Gordon Freeman thing, I don't know. I don't know what the big deal about him is. Oh yeah, there is no him. It's just a it's about like the same as playing the old Medal of Honors or Call of Duties, no personality. And then, here's a few more racing games. We still get games in these series, kind of. I think we still get a Dirt every now and then, but now that EA bought them, they're probably gonna suck. And then Grid. So, and these are the only two I have in this series. And the only reason I bought them is I found them up there on sale. And when I first started playing 360, these were my first two racing games. I got these before I ever got a Forza. So, which I do not know how to. I don't know what it is with driving games with this stuff, but. And then I got this other Need for Speed. Well, the only Need for Speed I have on desk is the one I showed you. Um, Sims 4. Just so you guys, yeah, this is my copy of the Sims 4, and um, I don't know. I just wanted the disc because of my internet problems, and like I just these were just in the stack. I have the more one, so it was just in the stack with the rest of them. Just put this somewhere. This was the other game I was trying to find when I showed you the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Jade Empire. This was another game I wanted back in the day. Besides those that I couldn't find, I rented it Blockbuster once, and then when I got to rent it again, it was gone. Somebody took it and kept it. So, and I haven't played it either. It's weird. Like back in the day when I just had Xbox and just had a handful of games, I wanted Brute Force, I wanted Fable, I wanted Jade Empire, I wanted Knights of the Old Republic, and I could never find them. And now that I have them, and I don't know if it's, can I ask you guys this? When you go back and try to play older games, older machines, do you have trouble getting into the graphics that you're so used to playing, high res stuff like this, or is it just me? And then there's like I have and my friend that comes over, he likes to play his fighting games, so I'm always grabbing fighting games when I find them. So I have both of these. My friend Sean, I've mentioned him a few times. He takes me to stores, and he hasn't played a game with me lately here, but he just does like my brother does now. Just takes me to the store and runs home. I think I've showed you guys this. I don't know. Okay, and there is one more thing. How come this is the main kind of game we get is the ones where you play the criminal, and we've had very few games where you play the cop. Okay, this why? I mean, why are so many people want to be the bank robber instead of the police officer? Someone explain, please. Because I'd rather play the police officer, the paragon, than I'd play the bank robber. Why are you guys so obsessed with being the bank robber and the thug and the gangster? I mean, like I said, I bought the Red Deads for the multiplayer because they won't download, and then found that the multiplayer is dead. I bought them. Also have gun, but yeah, I don't understand why more people want to be. Why everybody's like, oh, Grand Theft Auto 6, Grand Theft Auto 6, and the only thing we have to compare it to, which was True Crime Streets of LA, which is a buggy mess that didn't hardly run on the GameCube, or the PlayStation because it always crashed, so that killed that series. And then we had the Saints Row, which is more of the game banger stuff, which also the developers, which probably just had all new staff like all these other games. Um, and then like I said, I have Ninja Gaiden. This is the only version I could find that wasn't $90, so I got it. And then I have the other two Ninja Gaidens. Have not really played them much. I just played them a little. Um, and then I have these Dead or Alive games. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And then I have these two as well. I know there's a downloadable one only on Xbox One, but you got to buy all the characters individually, and I'm not really caring about that. I mean, at least when I did it for Killer Instinct, you could just buy a pass and get all the stuff. I don't think there's a pass for Dead or Alive 6. And I want to bring up something. These, these games right here. Okay, Sarah Bond and that other girl they got now, they're supposed to be their saleswoman or whatever. The only way anybody would buy anything from her is if they dressed her like this and stuck her on the box as a sticker. That's my opinion on her. She comes off like, to me, she has the IQ of a stripper. Sarah Bond, the same thing. Like, what do they do? Go to the strip club for their 4 martini lunch and decide to hire the stripper as the company mascot? Because we know rich guys love their strippers. That's the way these girls come off to me. That Microsoft said, "Oh, these are our new managers." The girls have the IQs of strippers. Okay, they probably are strippers. They probably met them at the strip club and decided, okay, we're not selling your console, so let's get some bimbos to sell it. That's what I think of them. I think Sarah Bomb was a African queen bimbo, and the other girl, whatever, whoever she's from, she's a bimbo too. Because, a white guy's Bill Spencer couldn't sell it, then the attractive black woman couldn't sell it. But you know what the problem is? The pricing, and you have no games. You have nothing but remakes and remasters across the industry and overpriced hardware. You can put all the bimbo. You might as well just put the bimbos up there in um, low cut party dresses or bikinis, and that's still not going to sell your crappy console, Microsoft. These bimbos are not going to fix your brand. And it's kind of funny. You used to make games full of bimbos, and now you got them as the face of your company. I know a stripper when I see. I know an ex stripper when I see one. Okay, that's just all I'm saying about that. Those two strippers that you guys hired out of the club are not going to fix your brand. You need games. You need games that are lore consistent. The whole 343 and Coalition Studio line of games make no sense lore wise. They don't connect to the lore properly. And the whole mechanic of Forza Motorsports reboot was stupid. It should have been done better. That's why that brand's dead. Okay? This is a long video. Please watch it. These are just some odds and ends of games I have that I haven't showed you guys yet, I don't think, because I lost my other channel and all my history. Um, but yeah, Microsoft, your stripper bimbos you got out of the strip club aren't going to fix your brand. Send them back to the strip club where you found them. You guys are just terrible businessmen. You make terrible business decisions. For a bunch of guys that went to college, you sure are a bunch of dumbasses. I'm sorry, but your stripper bimbo bikini sluts are not going to sell your product, okay? You could put them in low cut evening dresses or party dresses or whatever you call them, or bikinis, and that's still not going to fix the console. Has no reason to buy it software wise. People buy hardware for software, and everybody's like, oh, well, these guys, oh, I'm pro Halo. I like the new Halo. No, you don't. Quit remaking everything, and quit hiring strippers to be your marketing team. If you guys quit hiring lesbian strippers, maybe your brand would actually course correct. Morons.